dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to the Warframe video. So today we're going over the new Ocucor Augment from the Nightwave, and wow, was this surprising or what? We have a new meta weapon on our hands here, but not meta for the reasons that you might think. We'll be going over the Ocucor Augment and all of the features. It'll be like basically a full Ocucor review today. And I really hope that you guys enjoy these videos. We do daily Warframe video uploads, so if you're not subbed, make sure you are subbed to this channel. Also hit that like button if you enjoy this video. And check out the live stream. I'll be live later tonight. I wasn't really planning on streaming tonight because I think Kalervo will be out tomorrow or Wednesday. But I'm just in the mood to open Warframe relics today, so let's do that. Alright, the Ocucor. So we're going to do a quick stat overview. I'm going to tell you how this thing works, then we're going to get right into the Augment and not waste too much time. So the Ocucor is a sentient themed pistol. This is going to come from the clan Dojo Energy Labs. Your clan's going to need a lot of research to get this. But once we go over how powerful this new augment is, you're going to want it, honestly. The stats are kind of like whatever. We're more looking at the augment here. So you get 300 ammo maximum, 60 ammo pickup. You get 12 fire rate with a 60 round magazine. So I don't usually go over the ammo stats on these types of weapons. But the ammo and the magazine are actually pretty important for what we're doing today. The new augment is going to reload the weapon from reserves directly into your magazine. So if you were to be, really, really lazy, I said this weapon's meta, and we'll talk about that in a second. If you were to be really, really lazy, you need to be careful you're not chewing through all your ammo because it's going to automatically reload it. So that's just kind of important. 1.6 reload, doesn't matter because you're never going to actually be reloading this thing with a special augment. We've got 16% crit chance, 1.8 multiplier, so pretty bad crit stats, honestly. 24 status chance, so not amazing either. And we've got really bad damage types of puncture and radiation, but it's only 1 puncture damage and 10 radiation damage. So we have less base damage than the unmodded Soma Prime right here. This is an energy beam pistol. Whenever you get a kill with this thing, it's going to make it where it's going to start targeting more enemies. So I'm going to show you how that works here. Now you will notice when you start using this weapon, it's really bad at starting to get the first couple kills. So if I just start shooting at this bombard right now, it would take me quite a while to kill him. But that's why you want to get this is a weapon that really needs galvanized mods and stacks, like all the way. I get 1 kill. We go from targeting 1 enemy to targeting 2 enemies. Every time you get a kill, up to 4 kills, you will have an additional energy tendril. Now we are hitting 3 enemies. So if we get more kills, we can get more stacks, and as you can see, this is a no riven build. I don't got roar or anything like that on here. You can chew through high-level enemies very easily. And okay, we're going to go ahead and tell you what this is meta for. This is meta for being lazy. This is the new meta lazy weapon in Warframe, because you just hold on a trigger, steel path enemies die, and it reloads your ammo, it reloads your magazine from nowhere. So yeah, not bad for no riven. Of course, if you are going to try to use this on the steel path, I'd suggest throwing in some buffs. I'm going to show you some Steel Path gameplay of this working on the Steel Path, Steel Path gameplay of me using this in the Steel Path, and I was using Roar in there. So, yeah, as you can see right there, 84 round magazine, that's what I'm modded for right now. This thing is good. It does not do the most damage per tick, so don't expect level 10,000 insta-kill damage, but if you buff it up enough, I'm sure you could do that. So let's go over the build today. I've got 2 builds for you, and as you saw with those damage types, you've got puncture and radiation. No built-in damage over time, and there's no hunter munitions for pistols, so you want to have some kind of damage over time elemental. I've got Prime Heated Charge for heat procs. Heat procs are good for melting away enemy armor. They can also stack up quite nicely, but if you don't want to go for heat procs, you can also technically go for electric procs. Not going to be as good, probably, and there's not a primed version of the electric mod, so I'd say just stick with heat procs. The viral heat build right here, and as you can see, there is no Bane mod. One of the only big problems with this new Ocucor Augment Sentient Surge, when we're talking about, is that this takes up a mod spot on your build, and there's no way to not make it do that, obviously. But we want to run this because it's so powerful. Just reading off what this does. Each target eliminated refills 20% of the Ocucor's magazine. So if we were to mod for magazine size, like Ice Storm, or a magazine size mod like Prime Slip magazine, it would scale up how many bullets we get per kill, just to put that in perspective. I don't think I'm going to really recommend Ice Storm in the end, just because it really doesn't need that extra magazine size. You kill stuff so fast, but let's just keep reading it. Status chance and crit chance are increased by 60% for each active tendril. So what that means is, as I was showing at the beginning of the video, each kill you get an extra target. That's technically creating a tendril. You can have up to 4 extra tendrils, so 5 enemies hit, and that's 240% increased crit chance and status chance. So that's going to be really worth the mod slot. But like I said, this thing depends on stacks really badly. You saw that first bombard. He was not taking any damage at all. You need to get your galvanized stacks up, your galvanized shot, your sentient surge all stacked up. So you're looking for trash adds like butchers to get those stacks off of, and then you can start mowing down normal enemies. Now, it's also not going to be great against Eximus either. I'd recommend bringing in some like burst damage, and it's also terrible. It's really terrible against acolytes. But that's just, we're depending entirely on small heat procs stacked over time, so it's not surprising it's bad against the acolyte. So just quickly showing you, let's do it with some buffs here. I'll use Frost 4th ability to like soften them up too. This is what you can expect if you're like using buffs and all that. So they're not fully armor stripped, but good enough for me. And there you go. So like you just throw in any amount of extra buffs, and you're just mowing through stuff. And as you can also see in the bottom right corner, my magazine size is 60. We're at 57 bullets after killing a gigantic group of enemies. So you don't really need Ice Storm. It's kind of cool to like just have more magazine size, and I thought it was fun at first, but it's really not necessary. Hilariously, no Bane mod. So let's do a heat proc build here. This is not going to be viral. So the other one was viral. We could get our viral procs from our stealth. Now this is going to be only heat procs, and we actually do have a Bane of the Grenier mod on here. If there was space, like, here's the thing. This is where Rivens are going to come into account. I don't think this thing needs a Riven at all, but if you do get a Riven, you're going to want things like, you know, maybe fire rate or crit damage or maybe even an elemental. If you can find a way to replace one of these mods and throw some fire rate on there too, you're going to be great because beam weapons love fire rate. Alright, so let's just try this one quickly and we'll hop onto the steel path and talk about this thing. And I actually like this augment so much, I think DE should make this augment for other weapons too. Let me know how you guys feel about this idea in the comments, but how does this sound to you? This augment, auto-reload, 20% of the magazine on kill. How about that for like every pistol? But it doesn't give you the extra status chance and crit chance. There we go, I had to reload the magazine there. So very dependent on stacks. I think this 20% reload, 20% of your magazine reloaded per kill, could be a big enough buff that pistols need to become, like, you know, out ahead. Like, people don't use like pistols as much for DPS, but if I had a mod that on for my Atomos and Karnan that made it reloaded 20% of the magazine per kill, that would be really, really nice. As far as Excellus mods, I've got Ruinous Extension for beam length, but some people in my Twitch chat were telling me that if you put on this mod, Eject Magazine, you can technically keep your tendrils once you holster this, but we're getting so many kills, I didn't find this unnecessary anyway. I'm gonna go for the quality of life of Ruinous Extension for more beam length. So yeah, I really think this is a potential like new thing that could add to all secondaries. Is a mod that says on kill reloads like, you know, 15% of the magazine, reloads 20% of the magazine. That stuff, like imagine like all these weapons that like are not used. That could be a push in the right direction. Now it would still have the problem of having to run the mod spot for it, but I mean, for example, the Atomos, this is lazier than the Atomos and Karnan. It deals less damage than the Atomos and Karnan, definitely. But I mean, at the same time, I don't need to ever take my finger off the trigger button. Like I'm literally not stopping firing ever in this footage. Besides right here, some casting abilities. But you can literally AFK with this. I don't know if DE realizes that you can basically just AFK with this, hold on the trigger, and just like walk away. It will kill stuff on the steel path at that point. Again, though, acolytes are going to be a problem because it's terrible against acolytes. So I brought the Hate Incarnon to one-shot them. And that's something you should definitely consider. Bring a weapon that you know can kill an acolyte very easily, like a Stropha or like a Trumna or something. Or any Incarnon for that matter. So, yeah, this will be a good, a go-to going forward for sure. Like, look at all these numbers. This is with no Bane mod, guys. This is with no Bane mod and no Riven. So, yeah, I am technically using Roar. I am technically using Roar. It's not a weapon really meant for insta-killing steel path stuff. It's more of like a, you know, just lazily fire around, like a nice Sunday drive, just taking it easy. That's what this weapon is, and it does it very well. It lets you be really, really lazy. But yeah, don't even bother with it on an Acolyte, honestly. The only way you could maybe kill an Acolyte with this is with like a corrosive build, and even then, it would be so slow compared to just killing it with normal weapons, so. Yeah, here's the Acolyte right there. And, you know, don't even bother. Don't even bother with the Ocucor. Just hit him with the heavy attack melee, so. Yeah, really good stuff. Now, as far as God Roll Ribbons, let's go over what I think a God Roll Ribbon would be for this. Now, you do want to keep your heat weighting somewhat decent. You might have saw I put on Prime Heated Charge and some lower ranked mods. I want some status chance, but not like... I already get 240% status chance from the Augment, so I'm not really trying to like fully focus on it. If you were to get a Ribbon for this thing, you could consider getting a Toxin one. It might change your weighting a little bit, but... Hey, if it's got really, really good plus stats addition with that Toxin, it would probably be worth running. Something like Toxin, Fire Rate, Multi-Shot, or crit chance or crit damage. You will not get orange crits on this thing with this build. You are getting everything yellow crit, basically. If you want to get orange crits, you're going to get a crit chance Riven, or you're going to need Avenger. Additionally, fire rate is very good on beam weapons, so maybe think about that when you're rolling a Riven. Multi-shot fire rate, toxin, things of that nature. Getting orange crits doesn't really matter that much because our base damage is so low. I mean, what was it, like 11 base damage? Lower than Soma Prime. So at the same time, though, you do want to get, if we're getting all these crits, you're going to want some crit damage to increase it a little bit if you can. I'm not bothering with a Riven on this thing because I've got the Atomos and Karnan. The Atomos and Karnan kill stuff faster, but just I have to reload it, which really is annoying compared to, after you use this and you realize how nice it is to never have to reload ever, it might make you rethink how some of the secondaries you use in this game. Which is why I'm saying they should add a mod that reloads the magazine on every secondary. Like crappy weapons like the Euphona Prime. Every kill in the Euphona Prime refills a bullet. There you go. Something else. Imagine the Piranha Prime refunding ammo on every kill. It would probably become a must-run mod on lots of things, but it wouldn't be a must-run mod on everything. Like, for example, you wouldn't run it on a Condition Overload Procer build. You wouldn't run it on a Eidolon build if you were using a pistol for that. And for Demolist, too. So it would be more of like an ad-clear situation. But I think after I've used this augment, I'm going to go ahead and say this is a must-have augment. And now the Ocucor is a must-have weapon if you want to be lazy. If you already are like, I'm okay with the Atomos and Karna, I'm okay with the Kuvan Nucor, I'm okay with whatever, then sure, I guess you could technically skip this, but it is just such easy mode, dude. Like, I'm telling you, you could literally AFK the game with this. Not that you should, but yeah, 20% of the magazine is a decent chunk. So I will take that. Hope you guys enjoy these types of videos. I will see you next time on stream very soon. And yeah, Ocucor good. I'm waiting for the Batacor augment now. We talk about the Batacor augment. The Batacor augment might have a 20x multiplier with certain frames. So we'll have to take a look at that as well. I'll see you guys next time. Appreciate all support and take it easy. Bye!